Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 3, Episode 6. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. Okay, so at the very beginning, the editors really outdid themselves. The whole flashbacks and the talking about the current rumors, they're using the footage from, I think it was Jen or was it Whitney's prohibition party? I can't remember which one. Maybe it was Heather's party. I have no idea. But I thought that was brilliant. It was more entertaining than the last 5 episodes of the season. So we start out, Heather is wearing blue from head to toe. And I said, well, what? Can we break it up a little bit? Blue jacket, blue pants, blue purse, blue shoes. She did have a black shirt on, but it was just a lot of blue. Anyway, what really freaks me out is Heather has decided to start a choir out of nowhere. I said, well, okay, Heather, I'm interested. Why? Why a choir? She says that she's starting this choir because, now that she's not in the church, she misses the camaraderie. She misses the feeling of being closer to the Lord when singing gospel hymns and things like that. And that is something that I can understand. One of my favorite parts of church is praise and worship. Oh, I love a good praise song, and at home too. If I'm throwing on gospel, you best believe it's going to be all the praise music because I love to sing, think about the Lord, and dance. You know what I mean? It's good. That's a great feeling. But Heather, listen, we find out that she has missed every single deadline that she has had for this book. She's also opening up a second location for Beauty Lab because Beauty Lab is killing it. You know what I mean? And here she is holding a week's worth of auditions for this choir. One thing that I thought was weird, they did a flashback of Heather asking the ladies if they wanted to audition to be in her choir. But in the flashback, not one lady said, why? Why are you doing this choir? What's happening? Nothing. I thought that was odd because that might have been one of my first questions. I think that she's bitten off more than she can chew. Heather just has a lot going on. She's a housewife, she's a mother, she's a business owner, and she's an author now. And, you starting a choir. And this is a bad time for Mary M. Cosby not to be on the show. Mary knows all about choirs. I mean, we saw her at the church. Remember when she made that comment about Lisa Barlow? She loves an unhinged Lisa Barlow. I think Heather might be unhinged right now. Well, I also thought it was weird that at the very end, when they start the audition process, she has more judges than she has people auditioning. Yeah, that's weird. It's weird. And it was also weird that they're there because they're going to be doing Christian music, hymns and things. And Jen Shaw is out on the megaphone screaming and hollering. And then she gets into a big time argument. I said, in front of these people that's here to sing gospel? It was a bit much. One thing though, Heather will go down in history as one of the oddest housewife storylines. I don't know. Good thing is Christmas is coming. I am sure the choir will be available for caroling. Then we see Jen and Coach Shaw go out on a date, and they went to some place. It's like a Sky Zone place, bouncy stuff where you're jumping off everything, bouncing into big balls and bouncing into big rubber squares and things like that. And it was nice to see Coach Shaw thinking out of the box. He's doing everything he can to be there, be supportive to his wife who proclaims her innocence. And every time I see them in these scenes and he's being so supportive and so loving and just so nurturing to this woman, I think, what a dagger to this man's heart when he found out that she was really guilty of these crimes. I think that this is going to be one hell of a reunion when they all speak about Jen going through the entire season crying and begging and pleading her innocence to every single person that she knows. She's screaming her innocence from the hilltops, and then to find out she's really guilty. This is too much. I can't wait to see this reunion. So Jax is still on his he's possibly not going to college kick. You know, he's been watching social media and TikTok videos saying that college is not important and you can just go internship somewhere and study and become this mogul. One thing that I thought was weird about the conversation was John says to Jack, why don't you look at some TikToks from people who like going to college? How about you not take your life advice and choices from TikTok and Instagram? How about you sit here and listen to your parents? Now, I like Jax a little better than I like Brooks, but Jax really comes off as an entitled, spoiled brat, in my opinion. He thinks that because he owns this company that his parents are nurturing, developing, growing, and invested in, that he's some kind of genius and he doesn't need to go to college. Get real. You know what they need to do? They need to tell him, why don't you start your own company from scratch without any help from us? And if it's become successful and you prove that you can do that, then sure, you don't have to go to college. I think Lisa and John helping Jack so much has given him a false sense of security, especially when it comes to money and business. The whole thing with Lisa talking about how she grew up with a mother who didn't cook. Listen, Jack said, I also grew up with a mother who didn't cook. Now that just brought me back to last season at dinner when Mary Cosby told her, you eat all that candy and all that junk food, and that's what you feed your kids too. They need some nutrients instead of just rolling up through Taco Bell and stopping by your local 7-Eleven for a big gulp. Now, my thing is this. Last season, Lisa also informed us that she has the most money out of all the girls in the group, and she really didn't have to be on the show because she was rich. Okay, you are so rich and you don't intend on learning how to cook or trying to cook, but Mary was right. These kids do need nutrients. Can't you hire a private chef? Or maybe one of those food delivery companies like Fresh Time or Fresh something or another. I don't know. Hire somebody to come in there and make a decent meal at least a few days a week for these kids. I mean, my goodness, she's probably spends even more money on takeout than she would if she got one of those food delivery services where all you have to do is throw the meal in the oven. Fresh Factor or something like that. I don't know. Lisa Barlow, do better.
Somebody needs a reality check. It was about figuring out how to live on my own. Like, I didn't grow up with a mom that cooked. I didn't ever learn how to cook.
I didn't grow up with a mom that cooked.
I will truly.
He was the chief sales and marketing officer of a publicly traded company.
So the fact that your wife has a career and is successful, you can no longer work here. This is everything to do with them shaming me for what kind of woman I am.
There was going to be a conflict of interest.
It feels like that final straw was when we did the Love is Art. Yeah, I'm freaking proud of that. Justin has decided he left his company.
Was that a choice he made because you wanted him to make it?
No.
No?
No, it was a choice that he was faced with.
Justin being fired is all over social media. Did I go about it the wrong way? 100%. Intention was to clear my name.
The last time we see John was at the Jazz game. When I walk up and he just sitting there, he goes, "Get the away from me." And I'm like, "John, are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah." I don't know what happened. So
It's so out of character.
In a very immature moment. So as a 52-year-old man, please judge me later, but I created a fake account. There's no manual to defending your wife on social media.
Lisa has been doing the same thing. So at the end of the day, forget it.
Chris Harrington started an Instagram page called Shaw Exposed. Shaw Exposed has been out there like trolling accounts, saying shit about me. I did set up the account called Shaw Exposed, and I'm really sorry. Like when it comes to Angie, you need to also be a little bit more aware of what's going on.
Away in a manger, no crib for his bed. Nope, it's not gonna work. Hold on.
Totally, that's like off.
Let me tell you what I had to do. I had to tell my husband,
Remind me.
shut up and let me talk. When you get married to somebody, that is your other half. I am responsible what Sharif does and vice versa.
But
so are you.
The things you're being accused of right now is Sharif taking for it.
I'm innocent.
Amazing grace.
Okay, so Justin getting fired. I really just don't have a lot of sympathy for him getting fired, because Whitney has stated multiple times that Justin is a professional man. Justin knows he's a professional man. He has been working at this company for years. As a matter of fact, I believe he started working for that company from the very onset of the development of the business. I really don't blame Justin's employer at all. He is a higher up in this company, the chief sales officer or something like that, which is very visible. And you have a ton of salespeople that work underneath you. Watching you and your wife, love scenes or whatever you want to call it, you're covered in paint or pudding or whatever that is, wearing your boxers, spanking your wife who's wearing a bikini top and bottom. We've seen your wife shaking her butt down in the splits. She's bent over riding you, all of this stuff. And you go into the office on Monday morning and your employees are looking at you. They don't have the same respect for you that they had before, now that they've seen you down to your boxers. And the fact that these two are grown people and they don't realize that this is not a good look for a businessman to be half naked spanking his wife on TV. That's not cute. Nothing to do with her being a woman or being successful. It has everything to do with their company and their brand. Not only that, he sells beauty products or healthcare products, and Whitney Rose is also selling these products. And that is a conflict of interest. You know what? I also think that their company is a publicly traded company. So, they have a board of directors. They have probably sat back and said, this is all we can stand. You know what I mean? They have seen a whole lot. They can't take any more of this. To me, it just seems as if Whitney made it more about herself than about Justin. Also, I remember last season when he was talking about all the money that they had invested in Wild Rose Beauty and how he needed to continue to have a savings because he wanted to be able to leave something to all of his children, not just the children that he has with her. This was a bad move. This is something that two adult people should have talked about before they started filming the show and throughout all the seasons. This is not a good look. Talking about our sex life, having all of these half-naked moments. This is not good for a professional man who is leading a sales team. And then her later in the episode trying to dance around her husband being fired to Lisa is ridiculous. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's everywhere. It was all over social media the moment this man got fired. And then for her to look at Lisa in the eye and try to act as if he decided mutually to leave the company. No, they took his badge and escorted him out. Stop the shit. I'm just saying. When you're in a high profile position like Justin's, they have ethics clauses. They have media clauses, terms and conditions. You can't just do whatever you want on camera. If he wants to be able to do whatever it is he wants on camera, start your own business and then you can do what you want. Or just be unemployed. Lisa and Heather in this text situation. Okay, so Heather on the reunion made the claim that after her father had passed away, Lisa sent her a text message saying, "I hope your dad is feeling better." Lisa at the reunion said that's not true. She didn't say that. So here we are months later. Lisa goes and finds her old text messages. She also finds the date she sent her text message, which was on the 15th, where Heather's father was in hospice. Heather's father actually passed away on the 17th. Lisa goes to social media because people have been harassing her on social media because of her sending this text message allegedly after Heather's father was dead. She goes out and she tweets a copy of the obituary and the text message, proving that she sent the text message before her father passed. Okay, so I get both ladies' sides in this. Okay, Heather's father was in hospice. She receives this text saying, I hope he's feeling better, and she's upset by it. Now, I can understand Heather's feelings. If Lisa knew that her dad was in hospice, the text message was a little insensitive. I hope he feels better. Well, you know, if he's in hospice, things are not going that great, and he, 9 times out of 10, is not going to feel better. But I also agree with Lisa. She didn't send the text after he passed away. It did seem cold and insensitive to send a text saying, I hope he feels better, if you know the man has passed away. My only problem with Lisa is, did you have to post the man's obituary? No, ma'am, you didn't have to do that. I think that she could have called Heather and said, hey, I've been looking into this because I felt bad about it, because I'm being harassed online. I can prove to you that I sent my text on the 15th. Your father passed away on the 17th. Could you make, an apology out on social media to clear this up so that people will stop bashing me online? Or Lisa could have just went out online and said, hey, I want people to get off my back. I text her that on the 15th. Her father passed away on the 17th. Heather and I have made up. Let's just move on from this. But no, she didn't do that. She went out there and posted this and created a bigger problem, and then expected that things were going to be okay with her and Heather, and she's just going to show up for the auditions. She hasn't called Heather, spoke to Heather, or anything since she posted that out there. Not a good look. And Heather, instead of her stewing in it and being upset and saying Lisa has lost her forever, which I'm sure Lisa doesn't give a damn, she could have just called Lisa and said, hey, can you take that post down? I think that that's insensitive, and I will say something, to clear your name, just to get this over with. I don't know. I didn't appreciate any of that. And then I also thought it was weird that Whitney was going to show up for the choir auditions. You said you don't F with Heather. You are still traumatized. But not only are you showing up for the choir auditions, you're showing up in top hats with Angie, the lady who you called a complete liar. Why are you hanging out with Angie? What is this about? Okay, so the whole Chris harassing Jen and Lisa on Instagram, that is absolutely the oddest situation. A 52-year-old grown-ass professional man with a wife and children is out here creating fake accounts to harass housewives. And what more is crazy about it is he's friends with these women and their husbands. As a grown-ass man, he could have called up the husbands and said, our wives are at each other's throats. It's starting to hurt them all. Can't we all get together, maybe have a little dinner, and see if we can bring these ladies together? No, that sounds too rational. What I'm going to do is create fake accounts and harass the hell out of these ladies online. That is and then smile in their face whenever I see them out in public. After this episode aired, Lisa Barlow went online and she posted a article that says Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star's husband creates fake Instagram account to troll Lisa Barlow. Lisa tags his company, the company that he works for, and she says, how is he in a leadership position representing your business while cyberbullying women? By the way, thanks for letting his wife use your company's jazz ticket to denigrate my family. I said, oh shit, wait a minute. Lisa Barlow is unhinged. She said, you are not about to play with me. You are not about to play with me and my family. She tagged his business. And along with that post, she also added her proof that it was him, showing that the fake account had all the same information as his personal public account. This dude was out there trolling. At one point, he also posted a poll under his Shaw Exposed account. The poll said, should Angie have her snowflake? Yes or no? 81% of people said no. No, we don't need Angie or you. He tells Meredith and Seth that John Barlow told him where to go. Lisa goes out on Twitter and she says, let's quote JB correctly. He said, stay the F away from me, you POS, because John Barlow doesn't need a fake account to defend his wife. And you know what? To be honest, setting up these fake accounts was not to defend your wife. It was to humiliate, embarrass, and abuse other housewives. It was his way of trying to ingratiate himself into the storyline to help secure the snowflake for his wife, in my opinion. I have to say, you know, in the words of Nene Leakes, you're a bitch. You can't handle a little criticism. Your wife can't handle a little criticism. She has her own accounts. She could have came out there and said whatever she wanted on her own account. And the fact that Meredith and Seth just sat there and acted as if it was okay. She heard that Lisa had created a fake account, so it's okay, let's move on. This is embarrassing as hell. And he made that comment, judge me later. No, sir, we're going to judge you right now. That's a bunch of crap. And I tell you, Meredith gave a sharp look at Seth, and she was probably saying, boy, don't you ever in your life create a fake Instagram account. This is embarrassing as hell, and you are a businessman. Oh, I forgot. Meredith did say on Watch What Happens Live that she texts with Mary M. Cosby all the time. I am excited to see that her and Mary are still close. They're still friends. They need to bring Mary on as a friend of or something, because Mary is entertaining and these girls are missing that. Meredith making that comment that she can now hang out with Angie H because Lisa doesn't care about her and she doesn't care about Lisa. That just doesn't make sense. Okay, so now you're upset with Lisa, but you're sitting here at a restaurant at a table with this 52-year-old idiot who has no dignity, who is outing himself in public just to help his wife secure a snowflake. He is going to be sitting on the unemployment line next to Justin. Ladies, come on. You know, it's nice to be famous, I'm sure. But is it worth it? Is it worth embarrassing yourself and your husbands? And why aren't the husbands thinking about this? This is our livelihood. This is how we support these lifestyles that we live. I can't be out here creating fake accounts and having love scenes on TV. This isn't okay. We do see earlier in the episode when Jen tells Heather about these texts, and she warns Heather about Angie and Chris. And I think that that is something that Heather needs to think about. If Chris is friends with everybody else, but he's willing to create these fake accounts to put out other people's business, he would do it to Heather as well. You know, and then Jen showing up to this supposed audition for the choir and then being angry that Angie is there. I thought, what? You're angry that Angie is there. You didn't want her to invite Angie, but last season Meredith didn't want you there, and you knew Meredith didn't want you there, but you still showed up. So Angie should be able to show up here as well. I'm just still confused as to why the hell Angie is there with Whitney, and why is Whitney there at all? And then the fact that Lisa is on her way to show up is weird to me as well. Then you see Angie K, who was trying to defend Lisa and Jen. Jen tells her to shut up, which I thought, girl, you are this close to being popped. Okay, first of all, you're right here next to me. Second of all, you don't use the word shut up to me. And third of all, girl, I'm trying to help you. You are about to be popped. Back the hell up, okay? I'm going to finish what I'm saying and then you can talk. You're doing too much. Then she makes this comment about how Angie is responsible for her husband's behavior. Listen here, honey, nobody is blaming Sharif for your behavior. You sound so hypocritical right now. One thing that I absolutely enjoyed was right in the middle of all that screaming and hollering when the editors cut to Amazing Grace. That made me laugh so hard. I rewound. That was hilarious. Anyway, you guys, I can't wait to see the next episode. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.